Hi y'all, welcome to my shop. This is going to be an unboxing of a Lyle Jamieson hollowing system that I got. Just came in today, UPS, 27 pounds, pretty heavy package, so let's see what we got. Keep the knife handy. Okay, got some cardboard stuffing. Got a bunch of wrap. Turn it this way. Show you what we're getting out of here. Okay. This is some packaging blocking. I don't think there's anything in there. Set that aside. Okay, got the instructions. How to set this up. With a note. And we got a DVD from Lyle. You know, he's an expert on hollow forms. This is In-Depth Hollowing Technique the Easy Way. And then he's got two cutters in here. He's got a straight cutter. Just open this up and I can show you. Come back and see what that is. I think that's the laser. Alright, we got, looks like a cotter pin to keep this unit safely on the back. We got two I think these are 3/8 inch. There's a straight swivel assembly and a bent swivel assembly, each with a high-speed steel 3/16 inch tip on it. Set those aside. This is probably the laser, I'm guessing. Yes, laser with batteries and a castration ring, if you can believe that, which keeps the light switch on and off. Alright, let's keep cutting. Get to the good stuff here. It's all good stuff. Put this in the back. So much of my backdrop here. Put the cotter pin. Alright, I'm going to flip this over here and we'll just pull this stuff out one at a time. Just going to dispense with that. Just have to deal with the background. Okay, we've got part of the laser bar assembly. This looks like the crossbar. Well wrapped with tape and well packaged with foam to keep this thing, the heavy stuff, from moving and shifting, which is a good thing. Everything arrived intact. Box is in good shape. That's a good thing. So this looks like the part that mounts on the bar with the upright for the laser. And here's the plate for my 3520 with a butterfly clamp on the bottom, a nice plastic twist clamp bars. Put that back here. And then we got the captive ring capture system that goes in that bar. Very heavy duty, welded. And I see it's got just a slight chamfer on this thing to reduce the friction, and I think he says sand this down a little bit to smooth it out and rub a little paraffin on it, which, as you know, people watch me, I always keep paraffin handy. And then here's the nice D-ring handle. It has a 3/4 inch for a 3/4 inch boring bar. And here's the very nice polished boring bar. You can hold the straight cutter here, or the bent cutter, and then you can You can put it in at a 45-degree angle in here, and it's got a place for a set screw on both of these. So that's all the parts, so I'm looking forward to putting it together. This Jamieson rig is just so much easier to use than the various handheld systems I've tried to attempt to use in the past. I've had a workshop with Dave Ellsworth and seen an all-day demo with John Jordan, and they're very skilled with handheld tools, but frankly it's just a steeper learning curve and just takes more skill than this system. So I think I'm really going to like it. I'm putting a link here to Lyle's website where you can get more information about his system, but also his newsletters and the articles he's got on wood turning, and it's also in the description of this video. We're going to start off turning a really simple, probably too simple for hollowing, but I wanted a simple project so I could get started and show you my new toil. So we're going to turn this chess piece rook pencil box. While we're talking about chess pieces, I want to show you a few pictures that Giddy Azar provided. You may recall that Giddy did the CAD drawings for my chess set, full-size drawings that you can download from my website. Nice job, Giddy. Okay, I'm going to fasten this pencil pot blank 3x3x4 onto a glue block with a glue gun that I've been using recently. But while I'm waiting on the glue to heat up, I just wanted to mention that I'm impressed by the quality of the build of this thing. All the wells look very strong and cleaned up, and everything is square. Everything fits flat on my table saw. There's no rocking motion or anything, so that's a good thing. Okay, I think the glue is hot enough, so what I'm going to do is simply put a few beads around here and around the outside, and I'm simply going to use my handy dandy Bach centering device and just set it aside to dry. Okay, I let the glue dry, threaded it on, brought up some tailstock support. Now let's just go ahead and round it out. Pretty well balanced, so I can go pretty reasonable speed. Anchor bevel cut. Okay, got it rounded off. Now it's time to decide about my shape. Okay, I think I'm going to make this a rook box. Here's a couple of prototype designs I've got. Actually, you might see them better this way. I think I like this one the best, so I'm going to use that kind of as a storyboard. So I'm going to sit and just mark that. There's downward cut. Got a bead there. And start shaping. Go ahead and bring up continue tailstock support as long as possible. So first, here's going to be the first bead I'm going to cut down to. Okay. We'll worry about cutting these later after I do some hollowing. I'm not expecting this video to be a replacement for the detailed instructions that Lyle provides with his rig, but I just want to show you. First we set the base plate down with this butterfly bar. Got a nice large plastic knob, makes it easy to tighten it down. Now we got to set the height to the center of this. This is the center. So now we're going to set up the backrest and adjust the height. Alright, after we got this adjusted 3/8 of an inch below this and got it tightened up, we're just going to take a little 220 and kind of smooth off this surface a little bit so it'll glide real easy, and put a little paraffin on it. And you only have to tighten this one time, then it's set. You never have to change it. This surface has a very slight bevel, so there's very little friction with that bar riding along that bevel. We're just going to rub a little bit of paraffin on there, to, not beeswax, but just candle wax I keep handy. Okay. Okay, before we get to hollowing, first thing we got to do is we need to drill a hole to open this up a little bit. I marked this with a felt tip pen, the depth. This is a 1 inch that fits in a Morse taper. Open it up a little bit and just seat it. And we're going to go at a slow speed. We're going to turn this at about maybe 500 or so. There we go. Okay, we're almost ready to get started. I just want to mention there's basically 4 components to the system. There's the backrest that captures the D handle stabilizing handle. We've got the laser assembly, which is I guess you can say that's part 3 with the laser designator. Then we've got the boring bar and cutter assemblies, and I'll show you a close up of the swivel assemblies. Before we get started, we're going to put in this safety clip that prevents this from getting pulled out of the system, which is wouldn't be a good thing. We've set the cutter to cut exactly on center, and I can dial that in with this Jamieson tool rest, which I bought a long time ago and really enjoyed it. It doesn't come with the rig. If you don't have this, of course, you can use a basic tool rest. It's just handy. So we're going to back off just a little bit. We're just going to go back and forth. Let's see if I can show you a close-up of that. You can see the nice shavings coming off. This really is effortless. See, my left hand is actually just kind of scrunching it in a little bit. The right hand's just kind of sitting there resting on the D-ring. I'm going to go ahead and finish bulk hollowing it, then we'll come back and mess with the laser. Now the key to this system is calibrating the laser with the cutter, so you'll have a slight gap from the cutting tip to the wall of your vessel. I think you can see that. In this particular piece, I've got a challenge in that I've got a narrow area here. That's the narrowest part. That's the part I have to gauge the laser to, and then the other walls are going to be a little bit thicker on this because it's pencil pot. It's basically a straight pot. So coming in here, you can see I got plenty of laser. When I get down here, I don't have a whole lot. It's about ready to drop off, and then here it comes back in. So I'm just going to go a straight shot down the wall to get a smoothing cut here. I think we'll just about have this thing done. Bottom, we're going to the cutter. So the bottom is so, that's right at the tip of the cutter. I'd say that's about as far down as I want to go. All I'm going to do is just flare this out just a little bit there. I think that's as much flare as I want to give it. I got a pretty nice surface in there. It won't take but just a bit of sanding, and it's a pencil pot, so I'm not going to get crazy about the sanding. Then I'm going to take a file or a saw and cut the crenolines in this and part it off. I'm going to cut that on a bandsaw, holding on to this in a hand screw. So let's do that. Okay, now that I got the crenolines cut on the bandsaw, all I'm going to do is roll a little tuck under here, and then we'll part it off. Okay, I'm going to take a thin parting tool, take a couple of cuts, starting about here and then back off just a little bit. Okay, I made a jam chuck out of construction pine, real soft, made it easy to fit, and I made it fairly deep. Now we're just going to finish off the bottom. Not running it perfectly true, but that's alright. Light cuts. I'm going to use a very small detail gouge to get in there. We'll come in from the end grain and just peel it back. Alright, I'll just cut that off with a pocket knife, and we'll sand it smooth and call it good. And there we are, our hollowed out pencil pot. I've enjoyed my initial efforts with this hollowing system, and I know I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to get interested and start doing more hollow forms. I know one of the reasons I probably resisted because of the limitations of the tools that I was using before to hollowing, mostly handheld tools. I find Lyle's captured system to just be so much easier to use with a low learning curve that you just don't get wrapped up in the white knuckle syndrome. So it makes it easier for you to concentrate on the design and not worry about having a catch or getting something wrenched out of your hand.